All right, everybody, it's Randall. I want to thank you for clicking play on this video. So, we're going to talk about something that's I find rather frightening. Um, Employees of, I believe it was a protocol chemical plant, were told either show up at the Trump rally by their superiors or you can stay home and just not get paid. And I find that rather frightening that we live in a day and age where an individual's employer can dictate to them show up at this political rally or lose your pay. And that says something about the climate we're in, where people don't have freedom like they used to, where a worker who's been screwed over actually has to show up at a rally to somebody that whose political ideology they may not agree with just so that they don't lose pay. I find that frightening. I find that disturbing. You know, it used to be we kept politics out of that stuff. It used to be if you didn't like this individual, you can just stay in the background. You don't have to be out here. Now we live in a world where Trump sort of demands people respect him, where he demands that people idolize him. And the antics by the owners of this company basically are a shining example of that. You know, the Proud Boys just made a protest. You know, the Proud Boys are a white supremacist group, and Trump does nothing to condemn them. In fact, Trump has never condemned a white supremacist group throughout his entire tenure in the White House. And I mention that in relation to people being forced to attend a Trump rally, or else you don't get paid, to the fact that it speaks volumes about the type of country we've become. We've become the type of country where freedom of choice has been taken away. You know, everyone's worried about, oh, are we going to lose our Second Amendment rights? And they keep you distracted by that. His war on immigrants, and we're going to call it that, all right? We're not going to sugarcoat it anymore. We're going to call it Trump's war on immigrants. He uses that as a distraction. He calls himself a nationalist. He said that at his rallies. You know, folks, there was another leader that loved to refer to himself as a nationalist, that loved to say, it's country first. You want to take a guess on who that was? That'd be Fidel Castro. In Fidel Castro's speeches, he always referred to himself as a nationalist. Okay? So that's the type of person Trump has sort of set as a standard bearer. Castro, the guy we had a problem with for several decades. He's admitted admiration for dictators, and now a company forced American workers to attend a rally for him where they stayed home and didn't get paid. I'm going to repeat that again. It's vaguely important. An American company forced its employees to attend a rally for Donald Trump under threat of not getting paid today. Threat of withholding money that they worked hard for. That's what you call holding somebody for ransom. Okay, that's almost taking people hostage. And that's essentially what this company did. It's a blunt term, it's a blunt way to view this, but that's the way I view it. So what do we do? How do we combat this? First thing we need to do is the Republicans, and I know they're not going to want to hear this, they need to have somebody run against Trump for the nomination. Okay? That would speak volumes. The Republicans, they need to save their party right now. They're doing a serious amount of damage to their party by staying silent when it comes to Donald Trump. Second thing, We need to get out and we need to vote. Okay? And I know there's people, oh, well, so and so is not the nominee. I'm going to write him in. No. 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 What you need to do is you need to accept that your candidate, and I'm going to tell you something, I've become a Juan Castro fan, okay? Him and Elizabeth Warren are the two that I'm looking at. If both of them don't get the nomination, guess what? I'm going to go with whoever does because it's important. American democracy is at stake here. Whether America becomes a fascist regime is at stake here. You need to vote anyone but Trump. If your candidate is not the Democratic nominee or the Green Party nominee or the Libertarian nominee, you vote against Trump. You vote for whoever your party's nominee is. This is, without hyperbole, the most important election this country has ever faced. Do we endure 4 more years of ridicule, alienating our allies, and goose-stepping? Yeah, I use the term goose-stepping. Goose-stepping from a republic to an authoritarian dictatorship. To save this country, we need to get that son of a bitch out of the White House. Or else you're going to have more companies who hold their employees as hostages so they can be put on display so that a dictator, yeah, and I'm going to call him that. I'm going to call it as I see it. So that a dictator can feel love, and whatever the word is I want to use here, from an audience to feed his insatiable ego. There you go, folks. We either remain a republic or we fall and become a dictatorship. That's all. Have a good night and a better tomorrow.